Hey, it's Sean with Shrimp Aquatics. I know it's been a decent chunk of time since the last video was made and posted. I first want to apologize to everybody. We did make it to 100 subscribers, and here in the next few weeks I will honor my original statement of giving away some shrimp and a couple of filters. I feel I owe you guys somewhat of an explanation. A while ago, my wife was laid off from her job. Financially, it put a huge strain on us. With that going on and just some other undermining circumstances, that has now led to my wife and I being separated, which still has the financial burden laying squarely on my shoulders. I am trying everything I can to keep my dream alive right now, and unfortunately I'm failing. Between working my full-time day job, coming home, trying to take care of everything house-wise, trying to take care of the shrimp room and grow the shrimp room, and in there also trying to reconnect with my son. Not that I really lost connection with him, but trying to keep that relationship strong. The financial stress has somewhat crippled me. That's why on Facebook you're seeing me trying to blow out some shrimp. It's not because I'm excited to sell the shrimp. It's because, unfortunately, it's the only thing I can do to make certain that some bills are getting paid. It seems like every time I think I've got a good grasp on it and I get everything where it needs to be, something comes up or something breaks, or, you know, life happens. In that, I've not been making any videos. I've not been minding the room the way I should be. I've lost shrimp here and there. I'm somewhat lost. And quite honestly, my son and this room are what is keeping me going. What is keeping me focused and trying to attain some of the goals that I set out for myself. So, without further ado, I apologize. I'm not trying to bore you guys all away. It's already been 4.5 minutes of my sad sob story, and I apologize. Let me get you guys to the shrimp and show you what's been going on here at Shrimp Aquatics. Alright, here, let me see how much of the room I can get in here. There's the first rack, 9 strong. Then in the middle here I've got a 29 gallon tank for a reservoir. Some more shelving just for now. Middle section right now is holding 12 strong with room for 6 more. Far left here, I've got the 5 plus a guppy moss tank and my coal tank, or coal tote, sorry. And then we got the final rack. Dream-wise, you know, 1 more rack here holds 6 more. And then attach onto here and go out. Get another full middle rack, enclosing that completely, and buying me another 18 tanks. I've gotten a lot of questions on this, so I'm just going to run through it really quick. Power head from Petco, $12.99, 1/2-inch CPVC coupler, fits directly into the outlet. Tube going up attaches to the cross tube that I've used some T's, some caps, and some brass brass, let's see, splicers, some 3/16 inch inner diameter splicers. They fit in there pretty good. I wound up using just a little silicone, closed it up, that way it makes it waterproof or watertight. Some airline tubing going to a 5-way valve. My 5-way runs to each tank on the first 2 rows. Attached a irrigation dripper head, so 1/2 gallon per hour, little PVC DIY overflows, drain line in the back. I turn on the valves and I'm commencing a water change, or I'm refilling the tanks, or whatever needs to be done right there. All in all, I think it wound up costing me probably $120 to put most of the room on the ability to auto refill, or having access to being able to pump clean fresh water directly to the tank type scenario. Real quick, we got our cherry shrimp, or tank 1 of cherry shrimp, and I apologize now for the glare. Cherry shrimp, some yellow 24 karat yellows with back stripe. I have no idea blues that are somewhat breeding true, but nowhere near breeding fully true. So, guess I'm not breeding true at all, sorry. My blue dream tank, these guys breed true as can be. They stumbled for a few minutes, or for a month and a half. Negligence on my part was probably the key factor of them struggling, but this tank's starting to go pretty good again. This one has started taking off again. There's a wee little shrimp there, some nice good colors, some good small shrimp, some good big shrimp in here, and I've said shrimp way too many times, sorry. 3rd tank of the Blue Dreams. Secondary tank of cherries. This one has stalled out a little bit. I think I've got to downsize the moss and just get in here and do a mild refresh, and they should start taking off again. Tops, you know, somewhat covered with the hang, but then we've got a 2nd tank of yellows. They have been exploding like crazy, which is fantastic. A tank of green jades. They are starting to take off again, fantastic. These are the first set of peewees that came in. So now I got some juveniles, some adults, and then another, well, then a peewee, and then like a week old peewee in here now. So they're starting to do pretty good. Fagoo puffer, or the orange saddle fagoo puffer. I am still hoping that somebody helps me out with the name for this little guy or gal. And moving on. Then we've got my green babalti tank, which has been struggling to breed correctly. I would say the babies start out about half the size of the normal fry that I'm used to. The slightest change within the water parameters for the fry of these guys sends them into shock relatively quickly, so I'm having to try my best to not overly mess with this tank when I notice brand new fry, like we just noticed over here. There's that little guy there, and then it looks like another one right there. So I'm hoping somewhere within this pile of moss I've got a female that's finally hatching all of her eggs, because the one that I saw, she was probably carrying a good 30 to 40. And if I can get them to actually hatch and mature, I will be able to offer green babalti for sale again. These guys are super cool with the way they can transition colors, so really hoping that that happens for me. Then we are going down one level. This is the first try of my blue bolts. They were breeding pretty good for a little while, and they've kind of stalled out as well, so I'm going to do a complete redo. I'm going to take all the blue bolts from here and move them to a different tank that is set up with just the Rio. Then redo all the scape in this tank, all the substrate, and get it ready for round 2 of shrimp. What's going in there, I don't know yet. Here's a fall off tank for some cherry shrimp. Then we got the black King Kong panda tank. This is going to be the same thing as like the blue bolts there. I've got to tear it down, redo it all, and try to put it back together. What's going in there, I'm not 100% sure on this one either. Go down one level, we are at the crystal reds and crystal blacks. We got a pregnant female making an appearance there for us. That's always fun. At least I know I got one, and I'm pretty sure she's carrying a couple of eggs. But we got some low grades, we got some mid grades, we got some high grades in here. The high grades are never going to be sold. They're my babies. But all in all, this tank's had its ups, it's definitely had its downs. We're just trying to work our way through it and see what we can make of the tank. And I apologize for some of the bright lights and contrasting colors, sorry. Then we'll move over to the middle. Here, my phone does not show it as well as I was hoping, but these are actually some green hulks, and I got 14 that came in alive, so I'm hoping to all winter long just keep these guys going and seeing if I can get a decent breed out of them and go from there. Directly underneath we got the blue velvets. They've been breeding like crazy. I've got, I think, 14 pregnant females in there right now. Next door, we've got the red pinto shrimp. So here's my red pintos. Then we've got some black pintos. Next door to that, we've got red King Kong pandas. Oop, still got it zoomed in here, sorry. So red King Kong pandas in there. Pure black line crystals. Pure red line crystals. We go up one level. These are kind of off a little bit in color. They're like a deep blue / black, so I'm figuring they're just going to be black King Kongs once they finish adjusting. A couple of them are showing the Green Hulk appearance, so they might get transferred into the Green Hulk tank, and we'll go from there. Somewhere inside this tank are 3 or 4 orange eye blue tigers. This tank currently has some experimental shrimp that I got from a fellow breeder. Some super reds that I got from a breeder. And then this one's a blonde, but they were all supposed to be 2 or 3 of these in here are orange eye red tigers, so I'm hoping to help out there. We got the green jades, the orange lilies, tangerine tigers, and stardusts. And in here there's a good 4 tangerine tigers that are pregnant and 3 stardusts that are pregnant. And I apologize for the every so often yelling and screaming. My son is in the his little area playing a game on the Xbox, and he's yelling like a fool. But I love that kid to death. This tank has 2 black zebra pintos. Well, 1 black zebra pinto, 1 regular black pinto, 3 or 4 high-grade blue bolts, 3 of some shrimp I got from Flip Aquatics, and they are black Taiwan bees mated with blue bolts and then mated with pintos, so they're Tai bees, I believe, or Thai bees or something, but one of them is sitting right there. Wish I could find some of the other ones. There's only 2 more, but one of them is pregnant. So I'm hoping she has a good clutch of eggs come. There's one of the baby pintos right there. Then we got some sun-kissed orange. Second tank of sun-kissed orange. Some red lilies. Experimental tank. Yellow King Kongs. Moss galore with baby guppies. So I'm hoping that, get a little bit of everything breeding and maybe dig myself out of this coffin that I seem to have nailed myself into.